The purpose of this video is essentially a walkthrough for my Sinatra web-based application. It's a MVC application standing for models, views, and controllers. And I'm going to be showing off the main features of how it works. Really, this application, I got inspiration to make it from the background that I'm in, which is the hardwood flooring industry. A lot of times, whenever we're going out and trying to get new business, we each get new customers that we're supposed to stay on top of, or we're supposed to keep track of and help out, just so we know that we're tied to their specific orders. So what I wanted to do for this application was essentially create a program that allows a user to log in or sign up for an account, and on that account they'll be able to create customers, edit existing customers, or even delete customers that they have on their list. Basically, so they can make sure that everybody they're supposed to be in charge of is on the right place and is tied to their individual account specifically, not to someone else's account. So to jump right in, I'll pull up my terminal. We're going to run shotgun. This is going to start our server, which is found at this URL right here. So I will go over to Chrome, pop in that link, and just like that, we're brought up to the index or the main page of my program. It's pretty simple from what you can see right here. We've got my the name of it up here, RepLog, in the corner, and I've got two options that the user is greeted with when they first open up the application. They can either log in or sign up for an account on this platform. What we're going to do though is I'm going to just start off with basics, just going in assuming that this person has never used it before. We're going to first sign up. So we're going to create a username. I'm just going to say Flooring Guru. Email. Let's think of a random email, or maybe not random, but I'll make up an email for right now. We'll just say flooringgenius88@gmail.com. I'll have to make sure I don't forget that since I literally just made that up. Might actually copy that and save that for later. All right, and we'll just make a password, make a simple and straightforward, easy to use one. Say create account. What that'll do is that it'll bring us to our user's account page. It'll display their username at the top. It also has their user ID displayed below. This right now doesn't have too much functionality in the program, but really I have it here for future purposes. One of the things I want to do is I want to make a directory of customers that anybody can access, and they can just go through and see exactly what user that customer is tied to. So for right now, that doesn't really serve too much of a purpose other than just letting the user know what their ID is, but hopefully when I add more functionality, that will become more important. Since we don't have any customers, it just displays no customers to display. And then we have two options. We can either create a customer or we can log out. I guess before we get into creating a customer, I'm just going to log out to show that it brings us back to our main page again. I will log in. So I will paste that email I created from earlier, put in my easy to remember password. I'll log in. And there we go. It brings up the account that we just created. So let's get right into it. We'll make our first customer. And now the way this is set up is that whenever a user makes a customer, the name value right here, the program knows to check to see whether or not that name is both unique and valid. So for example, if I tried making a customer with no name, let's just throw in some nonsense values right here. Just to see what happens. Really, one of the basic function I wanted to have with this program is I just wanted to make sure that if someone's actually making a customer, it's not just going to be a blank slate. So if they try to make one without a name, so you can see no user is created, it still says no customers to display. So one of the basic things with this program is that you have to put in a name. So let's just say for this one, let's just say John Snow is our new customer that we are creating. We'll just make up an address, 45. Look at that, 45 Maple Street. I've already got an address in there. Put in a phone number. Date connected. I'll just say 1 just like that right there, 1 to 20. And then there's an area to put a short note in. So I'll just say met up at Starbucks, wants to know more about products. So once we have all our information entered in, we'll say create customer. And as soon as we do, then there pops up our customer into the field. And this field right here will be alphabetized, so all the customers will appear in alphabetical order for simplicity's sake. If we want to click into a customer, we simply hover over him, click it, and here is our customer's profile. You have to scroll down a little bit just to see this information right here, but we have three options. We can either return to our account profile, edit this current customer, or delete this customer. So for example, if I wanted to edit him, let's say that, oh, I got the date wrong. We actually didn't meet on the 2nd. We met on the 7th of January. I can submit those changes. It'll bring me back to my main account screen. If I click in, it will show the updated date right here. And if we really want to, we can delete this customer, but for right now, I think I'll hold off on doing that. I just wanted to show off another piece of the functionality. We'll say that we create another customer, and for whatever reason, whether or not we didn't look close enough, that person wants to put in the same customer that they've already put in before. So let's say we meet up with Jon Snow, like a year down the road, we forget that we even added him in as an option on our account. Because let's just say we have like 50 to 100 customers already stored in there. What we can do is, I'm not even going to enter anything else in the fields. I'm just going to put in Jon Snow and say create. And what happens is no new customer is created. We can verify that by going into Jon Snow and seeing that the information stays the same as before. Like I mentioned earlier, the program is testing for uniqueness as well. So it will not put in a name that has already been in there once. So just like with anything, you'll have to specify it a little more. If a customer has the same name as another customer, you'll definitely want to add some more specificity to it. Now that we have that kind of put in place, I'm gonna just log out of this application. I'm gonna try doing is I'm going to try signing up actually with the same username as I did before, and I think it was Flooring Guru. But let me put in a different email this time, and let me see what happens. If we do that, just as with the customer option, this program is also testing for validity and uniqueness on the username and email aspect of this program too. So if you put in a username that's already taken, it will simply clear out all the spaces and it'll leave you right where you were before with the account. And if I did the same thing with that email that I put in there before, which I believe was Flooring Genius 88. So say I wanted to put in a different username. Let's just say Mr. Beast wants to sign up for an account. Try to create this account, and nothing happens because that email is already being used. It will not create an account with an email that already exists in the database. So those are two ways that we test for uniqueness. And some other functionality I built into this too is that it's not as clear, but up here it's a little subtle link on RepLog. If you click it, it brings us back to our home page. I think I'll just log in one more time to demonstrate one of the other features I was mentioning earlier, which was how customers are organized here, and also how to delete a customer. So let's just say I want to add, let's not do another J name. I was going to say Johnny Appleseed, but let's do, the hardest part's just thinking of a name. Why don't we just go with Ryan Samuelson. We'll just input fake address in here. Fake phone number. We'll say we met him last year on the 5th of October. Make a little note. A new customer. So we'll create this customer. There we go. As you can see, it is alphabetized by first name on this list. I'll probably be adding some functionality in the future that goes by last name, but I thought for right now, first name would probably work just fine, especially if you have a short list of users. But let's just say that for whatever reason, let's just say Ryan Samuelson decides that he is done working in the flooring industry, and I'm just realizing I spelled that wrong, so just ignore that for right now. Let's just say that he's hanging up his hat and he wants to retire, and he's no longer going to be a customer on our list, or he just goes to a different company to get his material. So we can just go down here, we can say delete customer. It'll bring us back to our main page, and right here you can see that Ryan's name has disappeared from our list, so he has been officially deleted. So that is the basic functionality of how this app works. You can add customers, you can edit them, you can delete them, you can create your account, you can sign into your account, but you cannot make accounts or customers that already have unique names in the database. Just one last thing I wanted to show too is that if you click RepLog while you're logged in to bring you back to the main page, say like you exit out of the window and you want to come back to this link later and you paste that link in and you're still signed in, it'll just display a message that says welcome along with the user's username, and then you can just click in and you're back on your account. So for right now, we'll log out, and that is the extent of my Sinatra application. This was a lot of fun to make, and if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave a link to the repository in the description of this video. Thank you.